What if the sun suddenly went out? Not gradually, not fading over billions of years as science predicts, but instantly switching off like a light bulb. Imagine walking outside one afternoon expecting warmth and brightness, and instead finding a sky that has collapsed into eternal night. The question sounds absurd, but it's also one of the deepest thought experiments we can explore, because the sun is not just a star. It is the invisible thread holding together almost every rhythm, system, and meaning in our lives. Without it, what remains of us, and how long could we last? First, picture the immediate moment. The sun goes dark. Within 8 minutes, the last photons it had emitted finally reach Earth. Then, nothing. A black sky, pierced only by distant stars and maybe the faint glow of the moon reflecting whatever it can. Day and night dissolve into one single, endless shadow. In that instant, time zones lose their purpose, our clocks become arbitrary, and the daily rhythm humanity has trusted for millennia collapses. Businesses, governments, schools, all built on sunlight, suddenly face the absurdity of scheduling in a world with no morning or night. For the first few hours, electricity saves us. Streetlights glow, homes stay bright. We try to tell ourselves life can continue, but the world outside is already shifting. The temperature begins to fall, not dramatically at first, but inevitably. Within a week, the average global surface temperature plunges below freezing. Oceans begin to frost along their edges. Crops wither. Within months, Earth becomes a frozen desert. We would find ourselves clinging to artificial warmth in bunkers, caves, and power stations, realizing that sunlight was not just convenience, it was existence. Now think about the strange benefits. Astronomers would rejoice briefly, because without sunlight scattering through our atmosphere, the skies are perfectly dark 24 hours a day. Telescopes could see farther and sharper than ever before. Satellites would no longer lose signals to solar interference. Hurricanes, driven by heat from the oceans, would vanish entirely. Solar flares, capable of frying our power grids. The thing we sometimes resent is the very thing that keeps our heart beating, our crops alive, and our children growing. The ripple effects stretch even deeper into our psyche. Without sunlight, what happens to hope? Imagine waking up every day in darkness, never seeing a sunrise, never watching colors shimmer across a sky. Human beings are wired for cycles of light and dark, for rhythm, for the simple reassurance that morning always comes. In a world without the sun, despair would grow faster than ice. Relationships might crumble under the weight of survival stress. Nations might turn inward, hoarding what little resources remain. And yet, perhaps, some communities would discover new strength, huddling together, inventing new ways to grow food under artificial lamps, and finding meaning in the very act of refusing to give up. So what is the takeaway from this grim vision? That the ordinary things we take for granted, like sunlight on your face, like the difference between morning and evening, like the comfort of a warm breeze, are not ordinary at all. They are the foundations of life. Perhaps the real question is not what would happen if the sun went out, but what would happen if we noticed the sun while it is still here. For the next 24 hours, try this. Step outside, close your eyes, and simply feel the sunlight on your skin. Notice its warmth, its steady presence, its gift of life. Think of it not as background, but as the very heartbeat of your existence. Then ask yourself, if tomorrow it were gone, what would you regret not appreciating today? If you agree that the sun is the simplest and most powerful reminder of life's fragility, comment with a 1. If you see it differently, comment with a 0. And if you promise to notice the sun more consciously today, leave a short pledge in the comments. Because in the end, the sun teaches us a paradox worth remembering. The brightest gifts are often the ones we overlook until they disappear.